Hey guys, it's Miss Indris. Welcome to art class. This video is going to be the pre-recorded lesson for this week, the week of September 14th, 2020. This is for my asynchronous students who are doing arts on their own time, who cannot attend the live sessions, or it's for those of you who attended the live sessions but need an extra run at what we went over. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to need you to get something to draw with and something to draw on. Remember, always have those two things when you come to art class to be ready to roll. You can pause it now if you need to go grab your supplies. If not, we're going to move on. All right, so we're in our virtual classroom. Again, you can find that in the Google Class under the resources. It says virtual classroom. If you're asynchronous, meaning you're not attending our live sessions, please do the daily check-in so I can count you present and accounted for. Keep an eye out for our student gallery. There's nothing in it yet, but as y'all start to submit your artwork, I am going to start putting your work in there. We're going to be in this week's lesson, and here's the Flipgrid link for you guys. Here's the discussion link. Here's our resources link, and we're going to go ahead and click on the presentation and get started with a quick activity. If you have your paper and pencil, I'm going to let you follow along with this 5-minute video of how to draw a person. We are going to be using it for our project later on, so right now I just want you to practice. This is not your project, so it's just a practice. Don't worry if it's not perfect, but I'm going to leave you to that. Face and neck. Notice that the face is not round. It's an oval shape. There's the shoulders. Okay. Long lines down. Just follow what they're doing, and if anytime you need to pause, you can pause, okay? It's got a slight bend in it, if you notice. Same on the other side. It's symmetrical, so it's the same on both sides. Notice that this line is a lot longer than any of your arm lines. Now for the hands, curved line. There's the thumb, it was just a loop up. Symmetrical on this side, just opposite. Just one line for the fingers. Simplify the hands a bit. We're going to extend those length lines just a little bit. Pause if you need some extra time. All right, now I'm going to do the ears on the side. We're going to add some facial features here. Curve just a little bit right there, if you notice. Not straight. Close it in. that would be a half circle to make the eyes. Eyeballs. Nose is a curve. Straight line for the mouth. And then just a tiny little bit of shading underneath of it for the bottom lip. Some swirly lines right there for the hair. You can make the hair any way you want it to. Gonna add some more kind of scribble lines to the top to fill in that hair. Some more swirly lines just to fill in the hair space. Round double line for the collar. Same kind of double line for the sleeves and the other side. Okay. You're gonna add some details in the shoes. Remember, details are so important. We talked about that before. Make an outline and then you do the details and it adds so much more to your drawing. Alright, almost finished, guys. We are finished. I cannot wait to see what y'all's looks like. Make sure you post it if you want me to see it. Alright guys, so now we're going to get into our lesson. We're going to do what's called a respect art room, the art room respect agreement. Okay, we're going to explore from your life experience. You've been a student for a little bit, so you know how to act as a student, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to stretch and explore those ideas. Okay, there are 4 different ways, different interactions in the classroom. There is number 1, the student to student. Number 2, the student to the teacher. Number 3, the teacher to the student. And number 4, the student to the entire classroom. Okay, so what we're going to think about is ways that we can respect each other. How can you as a student respect another student? What are some things that you would do? How would you treat them? What kind of things would you say? What would it look like? What would it sound like? The second thing, you as a student, how can you be respectful to the teacher? What would it sound like? What would it look like? Number 3, how do you want us, the teachers, to treat you guys, the students? What's respectful to the students? What are some things you would want to see or hear? And then the student to the whole classroom, what are some ways that you guys can be respectful to the entire classroom? Okay, so those are the 4 areas that we're going to kind of look at. What I want you guys to do is I want you to click on the Jamboard over in the link that we're going to have later on this. I will post the link on the Google Classroom for the Jamboard. Click on that and there's 4 screens over there that's going to show you just like this. This is called the Jamboard if you have not done it before. When you click on it, it's going to have 4 different screens. The 4 areas we just talked about: student to student, teacher to student, student to teacher, and student to class. What you're going to do is you're going to click on this button right here, and it's going to add a sticky note, and you're going to type in what kind of things you think it should look like. You know, what are the rules for how students should treat a class. Okay, so right here is the sticky note. You'll do a sticky note for each one. Student to teacher, click that sticky note, write what are some things that a student can do. one thing that a student can do to to be respectful of the teacher. Same thing with the teacher to student. Click on the sticky note and write down your answers for how a teacher can be respectful to a student. Okay. All right. So your project is going to have this. We've just come up with several ideas on what you can do for how you can be respectful to each of those 4 areas. Okay, so some other students are going to add to that Jamboard too. Everybody in the grade's going to keep adding to the Jamboard. So what you can do is you can look back and you can look at some other ideas that they brainstorm together on the board. If for some reason you can't think of hardly anything, then you can go back and collaborate with your peers on that Jamboard. Okay, so look at all the ideas. What I want you to do is I want you to come up with one idea, okay, in one area, either the student to student, teacher to student, student to teacher, or student to class. One idea that you like the most, and illustrate or draw the picture of that rule of what it's going to look like to be respectful in that area. Okay, now what I want you to know is, and the goal that we're going to work on this week, and the thing that one of the things you're going to be graded on, one of the criteria that you're going to be graded on for your project now is how to fill your space. Okay, so if you're drawing on a paper, you can draw this way, which is portrait, this way, which is landscape. Either way is fine with me. And you're going to fill up your space, okay, from edge to edge. Okay, so you're going to keep adding details and fill up the whole space, meaning all of this white stuff is going to be filled in. Okay, you do not want to leave any white on it. You do not want to draw a small picture in the middle and then waste all this space here. You do not want to draw half of the page and waste the space here. So your goal and part of the thing that you're going to be graded on this week is how you're going to fill the space. And let me show you an example of filling the space. This person did an example of what you can do student to teacher to be respectful. Student brings materials to class. They wrote the rule down at the bottom and then they filled in their space. They didn't just draw a little person right here in the middle or on the bottom. They filled up their space that's very wide and tall. Okay, so that's a good example, full color. This is an example of a landscape mode where they drew this way and they filled in all of their space. They wrote their rule. This is student to teacher. Raise your hand to ask a question. So they filled in all their space with pupils and classmates, and then furniture in the back as well. The only thing they have left to do on this one is to color, so do make sure that you have full color or shade if you know how to do that. If not, we're going to learn that this year. All right. Okay, so and the other thing that I do want to just let you know before I let you guys go is I want you to use whatever materials you have. Okay, so if you have pencils, markers, crayons, or chalk, use whatever you have. If you have paint, you're more than welcome to paint a picture as well. It does not have to be done on paper. You can get creative. What about going on outside and drawing a picture on the sidewalk? Or what if you have a whiteboard at home or a chalkboard at home that you can do? Or maybe you can make a movie or write a song about it and sing it. There are many different ways to be creative other than just drawing on a paper and pencil. Okay, so be creative. Think of a way that you would like to turn in this project. The requirements are that you fill your space, that you use one rule that we talked about in one of those areas, and that you illustrate it, okay? Or in some cases, if you're going to act it out, you act it out, okay? Only one submission is required, so if you've done all your other schoolwork and you want to do more, that'd be great, because we're going to take the whole thing and all of the good ideas and we're going to make one classroom poster, okay? On this slide, there are some additional resources and things to draw that you can try. Do not forget to take a picture and upload it. If you do not know how, there are several links here with videos to show you how to submit in Google or submit on your phone. Okay? All right, and don't forget to add a Flipgrid too. There are some videos here of how to do that and links in our classrooms. All right, that is all I have for you. Remember that I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. Y'all are very creative, and I can't wait to see your work. Have a great week. Email me if you have any questions. Bye.